Hey everyone, it's Dr. Rebecca, and if you're new here, welcome. Today I'm answering the number one question that I get asked before taking on a new patient. And this question is, will my stress just come back again? I completely empathize with this question because we are set up in a society where we are constantly chasing pain, always running away from stress and trying to release it, putting a lot of pressure on getting better. Healing is not perfection. Becoming healed is creating a wholeness in our body, where all of our cells are connected to our brain. This feels way better than the constant chasing of this ideal way of living and being. It releases this pressure of having a certain outcome. It's just a completely different framework and a completely different way of going about improving the quality of your life. So what happens when our body is off balance and it's holding on to these physical, chemical, and emotional stressors? What happens to the body? These accumulate over the years in our bodies. We are living in survival. We just have to get by. There's no time to really process and to really get down to the root of what has been stuck in our body. These stressors become disconnected from our consciousness. So we don't know that we're exactly carrying something, but we know something's off. Our brain does not want to deal with the physical, chemical, and emotional stressors. It turns on protective mode. And scientifically, what this looks like is when you experience this stressor, which could be chemical toxicity, emotional trauma, or physical trauma, your tailbone will tuck under like a dog that's scared. When a dog sees something it doesn't like, it tucks the tail underneath. And this sends a signal to the brain that we are in fight or flight and chronic stress. So you can take a look at your own posture. It's not always very prevalent unless you have a posture app or something like that, and you could see how your tailbone is tucked under ever so slightly or dramatically. So the body, when the tailbone is tucked under, the pelvic floor tightens, you kind of curl up into a C-shaped ball-like position. This is being dramatic. I'll show a picture here. It turns off the vagus nerve, which is your rest digest nerve, and then it shuts down the prefrontal cortex, which is decision making, emotional regulation, planning, and body awareness. So that is the signal, the loop that shuts off the cells so that your body can keep moving on and keep surviving. So what I do is I help you untuck that tailbone, and I do that with touch and allowing this connection from the brain all the way down to the tailbone to be reconnected. So the brain says, oh, I am safe. I'm actually safe. I'm safe to process out these stressors and to feel whole again and in my body. So we literally are plugging in these new cells that the body decided to shut down from. Our symptoms, pain, stress can become heightened just to release it, fully express it, and then integrate it and learn from it on a cellular level. Doesn't even need to be conscious. And all of our cells are reconnected and whole. So when we have these cells reconnected to ourselves that were once living in a stress state, now reconnected but in a healing high vibrational state, you now have more cellular intelligence online. So when you experience physical, chemical, and emotional stressors later on, which I guarantee you life's going to give you some stress, right? You have a heightened intelligence response, a higher frequency in order to catalyze and metabolize them faster. I'll give you an example. So let's say you have anxiety. It's going to move through you way faster than it ever did before. You're going to register why you're having anxiety and be able to shift immediately. And it might even be on an unconscious level, like your inner compass is just happening, like a reflex, right? You just have it. Another example is, okay, I hurt my back from overexerting myself or moving. Now I understand and I can feel where I should not move, because now I'm connected to all my cells and I can feel where my threshold is for pain instead of me walking around disconnected. So you have to understand that we do feel pain, right? And we learn to disconnect from it. And we have to plug back in and get all those cells plugged into our brain and back online in order to heal from within. Now, this is an activation I am giving to you. Nobody can take it away. It's an awakening. It's empowerment. It's your intuition, your body cells, and your livelihood to sit upright with a tailbone that's not tucked under, standing in your power, rooted firmly into the earth, so you can get the gravitational pull to actually help you connect to your brain and have this interconnected community that lives within your body and in nature. This is the difference between becoming dependent on healing and becoming empowered in healing. What I'm really trying to say is that healing is not about becoming something other than what you are not, becoming something else. It's about becoming who you already are deep down and reconnecting to the part of you that already knows how to heal, with that potential to make all the decisions that you knew were right because you were coming from a balanced, regulated nervous system. If you haven't done so yet, book a free consultation, or actually a free assessment. Link down below. See you on the next one. Dr. Rebecca.